Welcome back to A Country Boy Can Cook. This is part 2 of the seafood dressing, the stuffed catfish that I'm going to stuff it with. If you didn't get part 1, you could look on there and see how I made this dressing. It's got shrimp and crawfish and catfish trimmings in it, little pieces of meat where I squared up the catfish. I fried a little bit of it on the flat top just to see what it tastes like, see if I needed any seasoning or anything. The crawfish tails were previously cooked, so they had some spice to them. So it's wonderful flavor. I didn't have to add anything. But I did say when I fried it, I made 2 patties to make, I guess you'd call them fish burgers out of, like crab patties, except no crab in them. And they held together fine. There was no egg. There was no egg in my recipe. And I thought it was going to be fine, but I got to thinking maybe I need to do it because once I start heating this stuff up, I'm going to stuff a catfish fillet with it. I'm afraid it'll start to crumble. And even though it's thick as concrete right now, I mean it's thick. So what I've got 1 egg, 1 beaten egg. You're out here, you can see it, yeah. And I'm gonna put a little bit in my mixture and just play it by ear until I think it's mixed up to the right amount. And I'll bring you right back when I'm gonna stand up to do this. All right, hope I got you in focus on the screen when I'm looking. It smells wonderful, by the way. I'm gonna just mix up I don't know that this is 1 egg beaten 1 egg. I'm not sure if I'll use it all or not. It's just the seat of the pants. You'll know if it's, I just want it to stick together good. I'm not gonna use all of this tonight. I'm gonna freeze part of this. And you can let this dressing stand alone. If you wanted it to use a seafood dressing for Thanksgiving, I'm telling you, it's a wonderful flavor. You could either cook it with no egg or with the egg, depends on what you like. But the rest of this recipe, I've got some butterfly, not jumbo, well, I think they are called jumbo shrimp that I've butterflied, and I want to stuff those, but not tonight. The catfish will do it all for us. So. All right, it's got a sticky consistency now, so I believe it's going to work just fine in these catfish fillets. And I've got a little bit of this left. In the microwave it will go to make scrambled eggs for my guard dog. If you're new to the channel, you don't know I have a guard dog. His name is Mr. Big Man, and he loves fish, and Mr. Man's about 15 pounds, so he anytime I start fixing anything that's in here, but especially fish, he wants to be part of it. All right, let me bring you back so I can get the catfish fillets going. All right, these are wild caught catfish, channel cat actually. So I cleaned them. I had them, they were frozen, and they're nice and thawed out. Once I thawed them, I put them in the fridge. And what I'm going to do is make it a pocket down through here. I've got aluminum foil and some paper towels. This is my old knife I made when I was a Boy Scout. See if I can get a pocket cut into here without chopping a finger off. Anyway, these are wild caught channel cat, and they're out of Louisiana. Mr. Big Man's down here on the floor whining like, Daddy, Give me some of that fish fried up or something. You're torturing the boy. All right, you can see I've got a pocket. I didn't cut all the way through, but I've got a pocket made. I've got my egg mixed in. My dressing. Crawfish, shrimp, and the catfish trim is where I squared off the tail and stuff. It's a little bit messy. I mean, you got to use your hands. Believe me, I've washed my hands so many times every day. It's unreal. My hands are nice and clean. Now there's going to be a part down towards the tail. There's no way you can split that apart and make a pocket out of it. It just won't do it. Mr. Big Man, he's down here like, hey Dad, that dressing smells good. How about me a bite? How about a bite for the little dude? All right, there's one. So I'm gonna get ready to bake these. I got my oven on, set at 350. And as you can see, I've got a china plate. Yeah, you can cook on that. You can cook or roast and all kinds of stuff on these plates. Let's get off this paper towel. I wanted it on the first one for sure, because I was afraid it would leak through if I cut through it. But all right. That looks pretty good. Once I get these on here, I will put some melted butter on top. The catfish has not been seasoned. Let's see here. Get this, and they're dry enough they're not going to run all over, no moisture all over the place. So you just make a cut down the center. If you've been watching my channel for a long time, you'll see me use this knife and another one almost like it. I was raised on a farm or ranch or what do you want to call it. It's a couple of thousand acres. We raise feed for people. We had a giant garden, a truck garden that we sold out of. We raised beef cattle, hogs, the whole bit. Yeah, it's gonna do fine here. And anyway, we didn't live in town, and I was in the Boy Scouts, and I wanted a knife. My dad said, "Well, build you one out of a piece of." That's an old piece of saw blade, like a hand saw, like a wood hand saw. He had one. He had several. They were just old and worn out, and they couldn't even be sharpened. They were so old, and so I took it on myself to make a couple of knives. And Dad was restoring an old, I think it was a '57. It wasn't that old actually. Now that I think about it, it was a '57 Yellow Jacket boat. And Mr. Big Man, he's whining, Daddy, please. I want some. Anyway, he was restoring it, so when I got it all finished and got it kind of smoothed over with lots of sandpaper and lots of finger nicks, and my father said, "What you going to put on the wood?" I said, "I don't know, I hadn't thought about that." Because that's just some old pine, part of an old pallet, I think, if I remember right. So, anyway, he said, "Well," I said, "Can I put that stuff you're putting on the boat?" He was doing it real varnished on this boat. Not stuff like that nowadays. So, he said, "Yeah." So I just dipped a handle of each one of them in, and spray this so they'll come off there. You can yeah, just gonna pat this down a little bit, make everybody happy, get him ready for their suntan in the oven. Gonna cook this at 350 for about, oh, I don't know, about 15 to 20 minutes. I'll just have to watch it. So anyway, if you missed me making, and you've not seen the video, look for part 1. This is part 2, like I said. And yes, this is real butter. You could actually take and use that spray, the same spray I put underneath, but I got real butter sitting here on my cutting board, so why not use the good stuff? Alright. Now a little seasoning. At this point I have not put anything on it, so not going to make it spicy or anything, just a little black pepper. Little sea salt. And remember, this dressing is not seasoned. The only thing that was seasoned was the crawfish because they were prior cooked. All right. Well, let me go get this in the oven. And I'll see y'all back here in about 30 minutes. We're going to serve this with some homemade green beans, country southern style green beans, soft and yummy. There they are right before going into the oven. Smells wonderful. What a beautiful sight. I just checked the temperature. They're at about 120 degrees. They've been in for about 18 minutes at 350. There you are, girls and boys. Baked catfish stuffed with shrimp, catfish, crawfish dressing. Yum. Southern style green beans. And yeah, I have a video on that like my mother made. Got another plate down here. You can hear Mr. Big Man in the background. He's like, where's my fish, Daddy? Oh yeah, and the green tomatoes. I love these green tomatoes with seafood. These are, here they are. 7 farms. I think they're out of Louisiana.